Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of the Weebs Return podcast. Today, we are doing One Piece episodes 1 to 52. That is arcs. What are the arcs last?
We have Romans Down, Orange Town, and many more to come.
Yes. So, last here is his first time watching One Piece. I'm almost up to date with the episodes. I'm only at 900 at the moment. But he is starting the show. I've tried to recommend the show to him a lot of times. That's why today we're going to be talking about One Piece. Last has made it up to episode 52, which is Log Town. Almost the end of Lockdown, right? Last.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay. So where do you want to start? You're the noob here.
I think I'll start with the first one, the Romance Down arc.
Romance Dawn arc. Okay, so remind me again what's in Romance Dawn?
So basically, Luffy loses his ship and comes in a barrel, and then Lady Lavita and the pirates try to invade uh, another boat and try to capture all their wealth and everything. And that's when the introduction of the pirates and Lady Lavita and Kobe is there.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Is it's the first meeting with Kobe. Kobe's actually a fan favorite character, mind you. If you don't know, what did you think of Kobe from what you've seen in Romance Stone? Before we get to the best character of the show,
If in being honest, in my honest opinion, I felt like Kobe was like one of those underdog wimp kids that we had back in high school that were like afraid to say anything in front of the jocks.
you mean like you?
No, and I was kind of a weirdo back in the day. I was an outcast, so yeah, my story is different.
Fair point. I mean, you wanted the scaredy cat. That's our other friend. And this first arc is very different in the manga. Since you haven't read the manga, I'll give you a little bit of what happens in the manga for this first Romance Dawn. In Romance Dawn, you actually start off with Luffy's backstory. The when he
What?
meets Shanks for the first time. That's where the first chapter starts off. Not where you started, that's the thing.
What? That's so different.
It is. Some prefer the manga's beginning because that is actually a very good opening to the story. Um, Luffy getting his dream after meeting Shanks and seeing how Shanks is chivalry and see how cool Shanks is. Um, that's a good start for the story because then he gets his goal, which is to become the Pirate King, and meet Shanks in the future when he's a great pirate and give him back the straw hat. You know that promise.
Yeah,
That's how the
and I
story
remember.
starts. That's how the story starts in the manga.
Dang, it's totally
Yeah,
different for the anime.
I know,
The
right?
anime.
So,
Mm.
what did you think of Shanks? Because
To be honest,
go ahead and go
Shank's
ahead.
impression was like wasn't as much prevalent in the first episode, but after like we see Luffy going out with Zoro in a boat, and then we see his straw hat being going away. That's when the flashback starts, and
Yeah,
that's when the first one.
yeah, I
I
know. That's why it's different. That happens only in episode two, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
episode two. So, I, seriously though, what do you think of Shanks? What do you think of him at the moment?
calm, a calm, collected, very. To be honest, he's like a calm, collected leader. He's like a
Mm,
born natural leader for some reason.
mm, mm. You find him a little mysterious, Shanks.
I found him not mysterious, but quite opening to people. He's like he has a knack for finding good talent.
That just sounds like Luffy. what do you? That just sounds like Luffy, dude.
No, no, like Luffy is like, let's just say, like, how should I say? Shanks will think of 10 steps ahead of the move than
Mm,
Luffy will. He will know when to play the card right and when not to. So let's just say that in a group of, like, let's just say there are Marines and everybody here, he will know how to, like, counteract the Marines and move forward with his plan. He'll be a calm, collected dude under pressure. Luffy is a hot-headed one.
Mm, yes, but okay, you've only seen that little bit of Shanks. Do you think he's gonna appear in the future?
Yes, I think he will appear, but what is one thing that stood out to me is like
Mm,
when Shanks looked at that beast and he like looked at the glare. The beast
mm.
ran away, and I'm looking at the beast is 10 times stronger than Shanks. What is going on with that? That thing surprises me.
Keep that in mind. That'll be explained in like around chapter 800, episode 500. Way later in the show. That
Yeah,
would be explained. It's a I don't. It's just keep an eye out for that. It's interesting, isn't it? That ability he has. Anyway, that's Luffy's backstory. Like overall, Luffy's backstory. What do you think? Does it seem like a good start to you since you're the new one here?
it does. It does. It shows that a naive Luffy is willing to sacrifice everything for his respect and honor for his
Mm,
comrade that he
mm,
thinks is his brother. And I think it's a noble cause. At the same time, Luffy is a hot-headed one. He got himself into so much trouble, and we saw him and Shanks. Unfortunately, Shanks' arm got taken away in the process of it.
mm. That's true.
But
That's
still,
yes, but you see that small Luffy, and you'll see in the current Luffy as how mature he is compared to that backstory and how that changed him in a way. That seeing Shanks, it's a very interesting
exactly.
contrast to that. Anyway, what's next? What else do you see?
Af- After that, as the story is progressing forward, we see them going to Orange Town. That's
Oh,
when the
hold
first
on, hold
introduction.
on, hold on. We're forgetting a character.
Oh, wait,
My
wait, wait,
main
wait.
man,
Kobe?
Zoro, bro. Kobe?
Yeah.
No, Zoro. The the
Man,
introduction
the,
to this man.
no, 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 man, I'll have Zoro's episode after the Sky Up Village because that man deserves his own entitlement for
Wait,
it. It's emotional.
who?
Zoro.
Yeah.
He
What?
like after Sky Up Village, we would like to see Zoro. Basically, after Orange Town, Zoro's backstory is more like vividly explained. That man, damn, I'm just saying, damn, that guy
Uh,
suffered a lot.
yeah, I know, but like that's most after Origin Town where you get his backstory. Technically, you get his backstory around now in the manga, if I'm assuming correctly, before you get to Orange Town. So in the manga, at least, when Luffy goes and saves Zoro for the first time and recruits him into his pirate crew, like for Zoro to be his first crewmate was such as it was a scene for me back in the day, and rewatching it as I went through this. I didn't watch it for this episode, but for this episode of the podcast, but I still vividly remember what it was. It's a they always reference whenever Luffy recruits them, when the characters remember what Luffy did for them. It's really touching later on in the story, and this is one of those
Exactly.
moments for Zoro. It's
And
such a great start for this anime, Romance Dawn.
exactly. I mean, the guy was willing, like for example, the guy was willing to help out an entire restaurant because let's just say Captain Morgan's son brought his were dog into the establishment, and the girl was trying to like hit the dog out of it, but in between
Mm-mm.
Zoro came and he kicked Captain Morgan's son's ass. But then they did a deal, and after that, Captain Morgan's son was not willing to carry on the deal forward. They wanted to execute on Zoro
Yeah.
because
Mm. Continue.
I, it shows more like triumph. But and as the series progress, the girl tries to help him, and again the food is like in dirt. He still ate the food though, even though that kid, that means Captain Morgan's son, stepped on it. That's
Mm.
something. That speaks something.
Yeah, that man has so much like chattiness. It's insane. Zoro. It's a good introduction to Zoro, I must say. And even in these arcs, we get introduced. We know about pirates. This is the great pirate era. I'm surprised he didn't start off with explaining what this entire story is about, where all of this is going to be coming from. Uh, the man himself, Gold Roger, bro.
The Goldie Rogers, basically when he died, he told about the treasure, the One Piece, right? And that started the entire Great Pirate era.
Yes, it's a it's it's a very good like storytelling from the writer in this one, because he immediately set up the beginning and the end of the show. From the very beginning of the show, he already set up the end. The end of the show is definitely going to be the One Piece, right? That's what the end is
Mm,
going to be. But
mm,
in between that end and beginning, he can add as much of story as he wants. An adventure, essentially. The end of the adventure we already know, but him going through every character and then finally showing the One Piece is why I'm saying it's such good storytelling and would only work in this long format. You know what I mean?
exactly. I agree.
It, yeah. There's another thing I want to ask you before we continue
Mm.
to Orange Town and where we get introduced to Nami and whatnot. Can you tell me how the hell do you know his name is Gold D. Roger?
Because they explain it in the first episode of it. Goldie Roger, the king of the pirates,
No.
they
They
do it
say
in the episode.
Gold Roger. My man's, it's Gold
Oh,
Roger.
maybe
And
because of like there's an establishment as well in Lockdown as well. So it's a Goldie Roger. It's like D
n-
dot.
no, even then it was Gold Roger. Because, okay, they only reveal the fact that he's Gold Roger in a Gold D Roger in a much later arc. Now is actually a good time for you to tell us how much do you know of One Piece before,
I actually
except for the ones that you've already watched for this episode. How
I
much do
know a
you know?
fair bit.
Okay.
I know about a fair bit. Okay, to be precise, I haven't watched One Piece from story to story basis, but I do know like from a snippets of what happens, majorly what happens in the series as it goes forward with it.
Mm,
That's that much I can say much. I don't want to ruin my experience with it with the memory of everything coming back because I want to watch it from concise to concise story. I'll
okay.
leave it at that.
Okay, all right. Because he he already mentioned that he knows some stuff, but that's a big point because it's a crucial theory going on at the moment. Anyway, when we get to further arcs, I will bring it up again and we'll talk about it there. Anyway, moving on to Orange Town. Orange Town is where we meet Nami, Buggy, and the little dog named
By the way, by the way, we meet
uh,
Nami when with Captain Morgan as well. That's the first introduction with her and Captain Morgan as well.
yeah,
So
I'm
we
saying the
already are.
crew. The crew meets Nami there.
Yeah, the crew
The
meets
crew is
Nami.
Nami there. Yeah. So so far, what do you think of Nami's character? The introduction to her and overall.
I thought it was a very sleek character. You mean basically she's a thief. So basically, I kind of felt like there's kind of backstabbing in between. A thief. So basically, a thief can lie as well. There's no
Yeah.
way that she says she hates pirates. She'll never be a pirate. That doesn't make sense.
What do you mean? You just said now she's a thief.
No, I'm
At
saying, but like she said that her words that I'll never be a pirate and something. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, you're a thief, so isn't pirates supposed to steal stuff and thieves
yeah,
supposed to like? It doesn't add. You're supposed to be in a pirate group somewhere.
but
I thought in my head.
yeah, but at this point, since you already finished Arlong Park, but we'll get to Arlong Park. Um, thing is, at this point, you only know that she's a thief. And you're saying that she should have been. It doesn't make sense for it to just be a thief, right?
Yeah,
Who's to say that pirates were not just thieves? I mean, Shanks wasn't a thief. I mean, that's what the common knowledge of pirates. But he wasn't a thief. He didn't steal the booze at that place. So she could also just be a cat burglar.
But we didn't get into Shank's introduction story. He didn't do those things. My latest introduction to the story was Buggy, and when Buggy was saying pirates do these things, Buggy stole everything from the town.
Yeah, that's true. Buggy did steal everything from the town, but that's Buggy though. That's not every pirate, is it?
Exactly, but that was my first premise, and I'm like, if pirates are like Buggy, that means he gotta be
Yeah,
related to somewhere.
but you don't specifically have to be a pirate to be a thief, don't you?
Exactly. But my initial thought was like, wait, it steals. It doesn't equate. There has to be plus that the tattoo. Wait, we didn't see the tattoo as well, didn't we? No, no, no.
What
I,
tattoo?
I- mm,
We'll get to that
no,
arc. From this point, as when you first started One Piece and you didn't know
my
about
initial
Arlong
premise.
Park.
I'm
Initial
just
premise.
gonna
That's what
say
I'm saying.
my initial premise was that when I saw Nami, is that she's a thief and she doesn't belongs to any. She won't be a pirate or something. Uh, Instantly I thought like she belongs to a group. Without actually watching Arlong Park, I'm just saying because I was introduced to Buggy and I thought, I mean, every pirate should be like this.
Yeah,
Just saying.
but like Luffy isn't anyway. So that's all you. That's what your initial impressions of Nami was, right?
Yes.
That she has to be part of a group. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing else
Yep.
about her character. God damn,
Mm,
you have no idea how to review shit, do you? Anyway,
Other than deceiving and being a conniving, can I use the B word? Hell no. The conniving girl. You know, I don't think anything. I mean, the most deceptive part was that she brought Luffy in to Buggy and said like, "I want to join your crew," and then proceeded. I mean, why would you bring the man and then it was dumb. It was dumb of her to do that.
to do what?
Like she captured Luffy and then
Uh
it's
huh.
like, "I want to join your crew," and then to prove her loyalty, they like throw it. Like I had a buggy cannon. The buggy cannon that they
Uh,
use
Shoot Luffy
for the
with a
buggy
buggy
bomb.
can. Yeah, shoot Luffy
Yeah,
with a buggy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, and she's like, "What should I do? What should I do? How should I stop it?" And then we see Zoro coming in
Yeah.
between.
The thing is,
I'm like,
she was trying to get out of the situation, right? But she didn't want to really kill anyone. That's the whole point. That she wanted to get out of the situation with Buggy. So she like, okay, I want to join your crew a little bit, and then he said, okay, prove it. So and then to shoot Luffy, but she doesn't want to really shoot Luffy, right? She doesn't want to really kill Luffy. That's why she was struggling at that point. Is what I'm saying. That's her
plus
character at this moment. All we know about her at the current moment, before we get to Arlong, is that she is someone that loves money and wants to make a lot of money, and is a very big thief, liar, and a backstabber. Right? That's all we know about her.
a good
But she,
navigator.
but yeah, and a good navigator. But she isn't um for killing people, she doesn't want to just kill people left and right. That's why her character is very interesting at the moment. She's a thief
But
but and a backstabber, but she's not for killing others, or like
exactly,
completely, you know
but she was obsessed with the Grand Line for some reason. Like in the series, she
I mean, everyone is assessed at the Grand Line at this moment.
no
She
no
haven't
no
gotten to the Grand Line, so
no like the Grand Line. She was obsessed with getting the map from Buggy with the Grand Line.
yeah, because she's a navigator. She wants that map. She There's a lot like every character in these first couple of arcs, which is called the I forgot what saga this saga is called. Hold on. East Blue Saga, right? This whole saga of Romance Town, Orange Town, Syrup Village, Baratier, Arlong Park, Log Town. These are all in one arc, one saga. And in the saga, you get a massive build up to the Grand Line. The Grand Line is someplace. Everything is gonna be in the Grand Line. The One Piece is in the Grand Line. The whole world is in the Grand Line. Stuff like that. So it was a big deal. Everyone wants to go to the Grand Line. It was just hyping up for the Grand Line, and that's probably why she wanted the map as well.
Damn.
Mhm. And Buggy. At this point, every arc since Romance Dawn and Orange Town, it was very villain of the week type, wasn't it? It feels like that. Like, okay, now we have this General Morgan, or now we have Buggy. It feels very villain of the week type for this anime, right?
Yep.
So, what did you think of the two villains that appeared, General Morgan and Buggy? Did you like
And
Buggy's character or?
I liked it. I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. Like the
He's
introduction was like two devil fruit users coming together, and they gave out the devil fruit impression. Buggy had the chop chop fruit, and
yes.
Luffy had the gomu gomu no mi.
Another thing we get introduced in these first couple of arcs is the devil fruits. The idea of devil fruits. So it's the power system in this anime. What did you think of the devil fruits?
It's a pretty unique way, they grant like supernatural abilities to these users at the same time at the cost of them knowing how to swim.
Exactly. Not just no, it's not that knowing how to swim. They just absolutely can't. The body isn't even allowed to swim.
That's pretty much unique, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
basically they
It's
have
second,
hmm?
say, go ahead, do it.
They have the ability to like conquer nations with it, depending upon which food that you eat.
Yeah, but it's also not just the fruit itself, is it? It's the creativity of using the fruit, because Luffy's fruit is just him, his whole body becoming rubber. That's it. That's his whole fruit. That's the power of the fruit, is him being rubber. But because he's smart with it, and that he uses it in such smart ways. I mean, he throws his hand back, right, and then flings it to the front. And he calls that his punch, and it's very
Gum
powerful
gum
punch.
pistol.
Yeah, the
Oh man,
gum gum no pistol. That ability is his idea. If you were given this ability, would you have thought of that, to use your
no,
punches in such a way?
no, but I would like basically what I would have done is like use two arms and roll them around and string. So basically, if enemies are coming at me, I would have become like a human fan trying to dislocate them.
What, a human pan? What?
Like basically take a pillar, okay, and roll your arms around, okay, get your
Uh
arms rolled around, and your
huh.
enemies are coming at you, and then you go spinning like crazy, and as when they're coming, they get hit by your feet. Your feet are like stomped together.
Oh, I think Luffy uses something like that in the show, but in one of the filler arcs, something similar to what you're thinking of. But yeah, the using the ability in such a way, it's how how creative are you with the ability. Because now we get introduced to Buggy's devil fruit, another person with the devil fruit, which is still at this point rare for people to have devil fruits. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But we also
Like,
given a backstory of how he got the devil fruit.
who, Buggy? Hello.
How he got the devil fruit. Yeah. So basically, there's also like how he got the devil fruit in the first place.
Mm-mm. And
And we also reveal that when Buggy wanted like the devil fruit are sold at a higher price, so he showed it to everyone like he had a fake devil fruit, he ate that. But when he was about to leave the boat, the ship, that's
mm-mm.
when Shanks came and he accidentally ate it.
Oh, oh, I remember. This is also where you get introduced that Buggy and Shanks know each other.
Yes.
This is the first time we actually get to know that, unless you knew of that before. Was this your first time as well?
No, no, I didn't know Buggy. No,
Okay.
that
Which
thing.
it's interesting. So you can see Buggy being a reoccurring character, or do you think he's just gonna be thrown off to the side?
No, he's gonna be a recurring character. I
For
I just have a
for sure.
feeling. Yeah.
Alright. I mean, that's every character in this show. Every character is going to be a reoccurring character. Just you wait. You'll see characters in episode 1 appear all the way in episode 1000. It's insane with One Piece. Anyway, after he after Luffy blast Buggy into space, we move on to the next arc after Nami joins us, and she's now our navigator. And and navigate is very helpful considering Luffy and Zoro have very bad senses of direction, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, so when do you want to open up this arc? You the noob here. What do you want to? How do you want to open up this arc?
I don't know, man. Like, there like some opening verdicts like in episode one to many others that I want to start with, but one of them is
Like
like
what?
Sky Up.
Sky up? What are
Like
you
how
talking about? Sky up? What's sky up? I
is
keep
it?
hearing you say sky up. What's that?
Syrup. Scarup. Sorry, Scarup Village.
Syrup, syrup. Oh my god,
I'm bad at butcher. I'm sorry. I'm bad at butchering
bro.
butcher names.
No, it's syrup, like golden syrup, maple syrup, apple syrup.
Sorry, sorry. I never had syrup in my life, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm
You had
still learning English.
you never had syrup in your life. What you never ate pancakes?
No, never ate
What,
pancakes. I haven't ate
bruh?
pancakes.
How do you not know what's you know, let it go. Anyway, syrup village, not sky up. There's an R there. Anyway, yes, syrup village. What did you think of syrup village? After wait, before we get to syrup village, Zoro's backstory.
Oh man, please no. I don't want to rewatch. I don't remember it.
Bro, it's a good back. I mean, it's really good backstory. It like hardens Zoro's character. What did you think of the
Yes,
backstory?
I thought it was pretty much amazing that for a guy who wanted to become the number one best swordsman in the world, there has to be a reason behind why he has to be the number one swordsman.
Mm. And
So,
go ahead, go ahead.
and there's a promise that he had to go towards getting it. It's pretty much amazing.
Yeah. Did you expect such backstories getting into One Piece? Like such heartfelt stories in the backstories?
No,
You,
actually no.
you never expected this, right? So compared to like other shows, how good are the backstories in One Piece from the ones that you have seen so far?
Really good.
Really? Oh,
Yes. Can you cut
yeah,
this off a little bit? Yeah, to start off, I just want to say before we move up to Seraph Village, there are a few notable points that happen in the episode from Norman's Dawn to Orange Town. In one of the starting of Romance Dawn, it was like, it's not about if I can't. I'm doing this because I want to. I decided a long time ago that I'm gonna be the Pirate King, and if I die fighting for it, then I die. That's said by Luffy.
yeah,
Damn, it holds very much emotional sentiment to me. Like the guy is willing to die for his dream no matter what. And I could kind of relate to it in a way. Because like I have a more ambitious dream. And I say this a lot that if I die doing it, then I die. Simple as that.
yeah.
Damn.
But that's the whole message throughout One Piece is go do your dreams and whatnot. Is the biggest message in One Piece in terms of thematic themes
Hmm.
throughout One Piece. Anyway,
And the
moving.
second thing was that
Yeah,
said
go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
the second thing said by was Captain Morgan. In this world, only titles matter. As we see in the series as it goes on, titles do matter a lot in this world. Not gonna lie.
That is true. Titles do matter a lot in One Piece or in the real world.
In One Piece.
Yes,
And
that is true. We'll see further on as we go through the story that the titles, what he said there, makes so much sense for what comes later.
exactly.
Okay. Anyway, moving on to Syrup Village. In Syrup Village, we get introduced to the next member of our crew, Usopp, and his story during his honor. This is his village, Usopp's village. What did you think of Syrup Village as a whole?
It was a pretty unlike the villages that we've seen before. Like, I mean, it's like a fairly simple village, not too much going for it, but it's like it's simple way of life. I would say that, in my opinion.
simple way of life. Eh?
Yes,
Wait, is that how you describe this arc?
I'll describe it as one of the most like how should I say? This is the arc where lying actually pays off. I would say where lying is actually thought to be a good thing. That's the way I would describe this arc.
No. Okay, I respectfully disagree. Because lying is the big reason for the big obstacle in this arc. Because Usopp and his little band of three stooges lie a lot throughout the arc, throughout the village. The village knows them as liars, right? And when actual danger was here, and they tried to get the help of the villagers, none of the villagers believed them. It's a very it's a very, what do you call it, boy who cried wolf story, at least near the end.
True, but in this exact same story, we also are introduced to Kaya, who lost
Yes.
both of her parents, and the reason why Usopp actually lied was to make her feel better during those periods of time.
Yeah, he. That's also, it's both ways. It's both an obstacle and it was a coping mechanism for Kaya, I would say, because during this arc he also told lying stories of his adventures that he never really went on. You know what I mean?
Exactly, but he wanted to go on. He
Yes.
never did.
Mm, mm.
But we're
Any,
also introduced into a new character that is known as Klahadore,
who?
Kaya's butler, the main head butler, Klahadore,
You mean Kuro? Kuro,
Captain Koro.
Captain Kuro.
Yes,
Yes, that's
the
the only name I know him by. I forgot about his butler name. I know his real name, Captain Kuro.
exactly. Captain Kuro was from the Meow Pirates. So basically, Captain Kuro was famed. The thing that I loved about Captain Kuro is that he perfectly embodies those people who reach to the top, but what is there at the end of the day? He didn't want the fame, and in the pursuit of it, he tried to like get his doppelganger in, and got him killed. The world think Captain Kuro is dead, but instead he's actually alive. But
Yeah.
that's
Mm?
that brought about real life things to me. Like when we say that we want to achieve there, what is there? And it also taught another lesson in One Piece is that are you willing to give up your character to do it? Basically, character is everything in real life.
Mm,
So
mm,
are you willing to give that up to achieve your dreams?
mm.
The same.
Well, I mean, and then again, his goal was very simple. I want to just get the money from them. I'm gonna do it in a very elaborate way. Is that's what I got from his character. I want the money from these rich people, but I'm gonna try to get it in a very elaborate and long-standing way. To be honest,
Like
my personal
I
opinion
kind
on
of,
this. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. No, go ahead, go ahead.
to be honest, from a new perspective, I don't think Captain Kuro was wrong because he's been killed already. So if he just went there and just tried to take the money directly, forcefully, they would try to think like Captain Kuro is alive somewhere, you know? Because y- think about it, the guy is
Mm,
killed. He needs to have a safe way to get the money in and out.
yeah, but what do you mean by he did nothing wrong?
No, no, I didn't say he did nothing wrong. He did everything wrong.
Yeah, but then what do you mean by him not doing something wrong? What didn't he do wrong? Or did do not wrong?
The thing that he didn't do wrong is tell Usopp to his face that you're a liar. You start speaking the truth. I think that was like a supposed to be a waking call for Usopp that his lying is gonna bite him in the end.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of normal. Your lying is eventually going to bite you in the end. That's someday. I mean that's the whole point. In the when the kids came to the villagers and tried to get the villagers on board, but yet the villagers didn't believe them. So on and so forth. You know.
Exactly.
And to be honest, my personal opinion on this arc, it's pretty mid. I didn't really like this arc as much. It dragged on for me. It's mostly because of what happens in the next arc, but this arc really dragged on. I didn't really like Kuro and his pussyfoot maneuver. Is the funniest name for his technique, pussyfoot maneuver.
I the thing that I found funny was the Meow brothers, Hochi and Shion.
Who? I'm
The
sorry.
Meow brothers,
The Meow
Meow brothers.
Brothers.
Yeah, they are part of Captain Kuro's team, and we see them like Pochi and Shion.
I I don't even remember those characters. Shows how much I remember about this arc. Because all I remember from this arc is Kaya, Usopp, and Kuro, and maybe the magician dude or the hypnotist dude, the guy who comes moonwalking into the scenes.
Django.
Django. Yeah, that was very interesting. Uh, anything else you want to say before we move on to Barate?
Not really, to be honest. No,
Okay, Barate A arc. Oh my God, this arc. Oof, oof. This is a hitter before you. This is like an appetizer before you get to Onlong. And oh my God,
Eh.
the introduction to Sanji's character. What do you think?
Introduction to Sanji's character, a guy with okay, first impression to it, we see full body. We see major or captain full body armor. What is it? Is it major or captain?
Who are you talking about?
As the marine, the guy when Sanji meets him.
Oh, call him whatever. He's kind of irrelevant. Go ahead.
So basically, we meet this marine guy, and San is he telling about he's trying to brag on this wine is this name. But Sanji says,
Mm,
"Hell no,
no, it's
hell
not.
no!" And then he like tries to throw away the food, and that's when it pisses Sanji off. And I'm like, the dude is 10 times stronger than most people.
Yes, yes, that is Sanji. Thing is, in this arc, you learn one of the most important messages I've ever that just hit me a lot because he understands it. The Sanji specifically, because you see that in his backstory when you get introduced to after he when he tells you the back when he goes through his backstory, Sanji was on the ship and he was cooking for it was a chef on the ship, right? And he would always there was leftover food, so he would throw the leftover food away while the others were eating it. And he's like, "Why are you eating it? Just throw it away. We have plenty of food." And then
Mm.
Sanji was also telling them, "Do you know about the all blue? He had the dream of wanting to see the all blue. It's a sea where all the other fishes combine together. All the other fishes from the east blue, the south blue, and the west blue, and the north blue. It's such a great dream he had." And then the ship gets attacked by pirates, with which is headed by Redfoot Zephyr,
Yeah.
the man, the myth, the
Yeah.
legend himself. And when he heard this one dream from Sanji, Sanji just wanted to see the all blue, even though he kicked Sanji, like really, literally kicked Sanji. And the ship and Sanji fell off overboard. He went to go and save him. He had no reason to though. Why save this little boy if he was in an enemy group? Why save him? All because he had the same dream. That hit, bro. That's the first arc that hit really hard, you know what I mean?
To me, it was I mean, I get it, but the main story that got me,
What? You know what? Go ahead.
the
I'm
main
gonna
story
tell
that
how
got
you
me
all wrong,
was
but okay.
I respectfully disagree with your opinion, but I mean, we all have different tastes.
I
Not gonna lie.
disrespectfully agree against your opinion, but okay, continue. You're completely wrong, bro. All right.
Either way, either way, the thing that he didn't miss for me was the point when like the old man shows that he has a lot of food, but Shanji has little like less food on the top of the mountain. Okay, and he instructs him, sit there and don't move. So he's thinking like mathematically, if I ration out my food this much long, I can like find the boat. I can find everything
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm,
The food runs out, and that's the thing that we learn from starvation. the one thing in this theory is that we have not occurred here is that how did they go to Biratier? Because they didn't go to Briatere just for going to Briatere. Because they went there because of Zoro's two friends, and one of their friends was sick and
Yeah,
had
scurvy. Scurvy, yes, yes. Scurvy.
he had scurvy.
It's
Exactly,
a seasickness that occurs when I'm not 100% sure, but all I know is it has something to do with alcohol and not enough vitamin C in your body.
exactly. And we go there and we find Sanji. That's the first thing we find. That starvation is one of the key things that are going to come up in this
Mm.
arc, and
Yeah.
that hit and miss for me. That food wastage should not happen, and I'm like, yo, that means a lot, man. Like a lot
Hmm.
of people go. But then we are introduced to Gi at the same arc. Me like after full body armor, nobody tries to like give Gi any
Food.
food, and
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
he belongs to what's the pirate group again? I forgot.
I also forgot.
Danza,
You can continue. You don't have
Danza,
to. You don't have to remember that name. He's irrelevant.
Don
Continue. Continue.
Krieg. Yeah,
Don
Krieg
Krieg,
pirate.
the Krieg Pirates. There we go. I mean, he's completely irrelevant for this entire arc. But okay, continue. Continue. I mean, he's
I mean,
irrelevant for the arc,
Krieg pirate.
but for One Piece, he's irrelevant. Continue.
I mean, he gives them the food, and he's like, take the food. And the one of the line that Sanji says, "Why do you want to waste your pride right now when you can eat the food right now and use your pride in a good way in the future?" That hit home for me, bro. Like legitimately hit home for me. And then he proceeded to help the guy by throwing the plates away. Like there's no evidence, so they can't bail. They can't bust me for anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
wow, what a reliable
The,
guy.
the kindness of Sanji is really shown in this arc. But I I want to go back to that backstory there and why I don't understand why you don't like this backstory. But
I don't know.
in
I like the backstory. I what I don't like is like how it. I mean, it was not that emotionally intensified for me. I'm not gonna lie, because the way Redfoot Zeb kicked that kid Sanji into a pump and then went after them, like that's pretty much unexpected. Aren't you being a hypocrite?
yeah,
1 minute,
he says why he went after the kid. For a simple reason, because he had the same dream. But he sacrificed everything for that kid. His own leg, the one thing that he's very good at, his leg.
yeah, that's true.
Thing is, in the anime, they don't show it, but in the anime, how he loses his leg is that he got rid of it himself, right?
Oh yeah, they show it. They show it. They
He,
show it in a
yeah,
later on.
he ripped his own leg off, right? To go after
Yes.
Sanji. Yeah, in the manga is different. In the manga, they had him eat his own leg. Yes, the writer had him
Oh,
eat his own leg. That's how he survived,
oh,
by eating his own leg.
oh. That's that.
Yeah,
Okay, then that will hit 10 times more harder than ripping his
yeah.
own leg.
He had to eat something because all they had was treasure. And he said that he gave a good line there. He says, "We have all this treasure, but we are still hungry.
Oh, that
You can't eat all that treasure, and you can't even eat it." Shows that that's
shit.
why
That
to these two chefs, Zeph and Sanji, food is more precious than treasure, which is hits different for me. That's why I like this backstory a lot. It's not my favorite backstory. There's another one that tops this in droves, but it's the most, it hits different. You know, it hits me. That this particular backstory.
in the same arc as we're going towards it.
Mm,
Let's talk about Down Creek, okay, and how he was a jackass
I don't
and
really want to
everything.
talk. I don't really want to talk about Don Krieg. To me, he's completely
But
irrelevant.
one of the things that happened in this arc, we're introduced to the seven warlords. That is
Yes, Ace.
Hawkeye Mihawk.
Wait. Oh, you said he is okay. Yeah. Hawkeye Mihawk, this man, he's sitting on his boat, his tiny little boat, and chops an entire ship in half. What? When I saw this the first time, I was like, oh my god, we're screwed. We're completely screwed. There's no getting out of this. I was like, oh my, no, there's just no way. But no, they get out. They get out easily.
That's when like one of the most hit home series for me is that Zoro finally found a like someone who can challenge him, towards
Mm-hmm.
this entire thing. His goal is to become the best swordsman, and it's like Hawkeye Miho says that for a swordsman you have a lot of heart. Not a lot of swordsmen have that shit. You have it. I consider you as my rival, but till the day when you cannot, till the day when you become stronger and take that title from me, I will still hold this title right now as the greatest swordsman. And I'm
The
like, wow.
the thing is that's just Mihawk being kind to Zoro for his bravery. He's barely even a rival for Zoro. Okay, he didn't even take out his big sword. He took a tiny little sword just to fight Zoro. Zoro had all three swords, and he stopped Zoro's most powerful move with that tiny little sword.
But he just still takes out the big sword in like in the
In the
full
end,
out duel.
yes, to no, he gives him one last hit with that big sword. He takes it out because he understands uh, Zoro's honor, but Zoro's nowhere near Mihawk's level. That's basically to show the audience the characters aren't that powerful. They are still very powerful characters yet to come.
Exactly, but that's when Zoro delivers the line. Luffy, the king of the pirates, I lost this time. But next time I won't lose. You want the best swordsman in the world, I'll give you the best swordsman in the world. Is that acceptable to you, king of the pirates? He says,
That
haha, yeah.
see that will hit way more in a later arc. But yeah, Zoro's loyalty to Luffy is the best thing to come out of this. That loyalty, bro. Mm, mm, mm. Also,
I-
in this
mm,
arc, you had there was one of the most funniest lines in this entire arc that came out of it was uh, Luffy asking Sanji, "Yo, join my crew. You can be my cook." Sanji says, "I refuse." Luffy says, "I refuse your refusal." That was the funniest line to me. Oh my god. Anyway,
It is funny.
this is a really good appetizer for what's to come next. And any more last words that you'd like to give to Baratie arc? Anything else you want to
The,
mention?
the old cook, Sanji going up to the old saying, "Old geezer, thank you for something," and then going down and crying. I was like, and the old geezer crying at the same time, like, motherfucker, why cry? Ah, you made me cry.
Ah, damn.
Oh,
Yeah. Thing is, when I first watched the show, the scene didn't really make me cry, right? It hit me and I felt that, but it didn't really make me cry. It's when you come to a later arc and they show this again, and I was like, oh my god. I was bawling on the floor. It was a gruesome sight. But yeah, that and him joining the crew, it was very sad how everyone was shooing him away and telling his food sucks to just get him out of here. But it was all just it was such a sad scene, but to hear them all like, this is cooking, even though his cooking is the best,
exactly,
is just sad. But
but
the ending of it, oh my god, it pays off. It pays off.
exactly, but before we move to Arlon Park and
Okay.
even move on to Baratie, we moved on. We forgot a side episode that happened as well.
Which one?
The guy in the box, the Jack in the box.
Are you talking about on Treasure Island?
Yes, we forgot about that guy. We gotta admit,
Yeah. Oh no, doesn't he show up after? Doesn't you get that episode
no,
after
we get
he?
before Baratie. We get it before
Before
Baratie.
Treasure Island. Yeah, yeah. I don't really remember that episode. Everyone says it's very important, but it's a half filler, half canon episode.
The
That
only reason why it's important, it's further down the line on Buggy's adventure, and
yes,
which
yes.
goes to, yeah. We'll
Yeah,
we'll move on to that now to
yeah.
Arlong Park.
All along Park. Oh my god, this arc is the
It's home.
best beginning
Home.
arc. Huh? It's
It
what?
hits home for me.
Oh,
It hits home for me,
oh, okay, okay. In what ways? In what ways?
both emotionally and physically. Like it hits home for me.
Mm. In what ways? Elaborate.
The way that let's just say the story first, okay?
All right.
The emotional part is the story of it. A former Marine taking in two kids that she doesn't knows at all, and then saves their lives in the storm as well. Okay,
Mm,
and adopts them as her own daughter.
mm, mm,
At the same time, all going well, she pays off the money to Arlong, and everything's fine. But those two kids come back, and she doesn't deny them that they're not my kids. She says they're my kids. And at the same time, Arlong says that I'll kill the kids right now, and she makes a deal with them. You kill
mm,
me and let the kids live. And that's when we see her die. And that's when Nami goes up to him, and Arlong takes her. And Arlong figures out what Nami has. We already know that Nami can make accurate maps and charts,
mm. Okay, okay.
which can help
You're
which can help
jumping.
them expand his empire.
You're
But
jumping
like,
way ahead. But that
no,
that
I'm
was
just
that.
talking about the story. I'm just
Oh,
talking about the story.
that's
But
that's not what the
the
story
emotional
starts
part,
though. The high point. That's a very emotional high point. I will
yeah,
heavily agree on that. But before we get to that, we gotta introduce who you're talking about. The way this arc that is named after Arlong, the man himself, Arlong Fishman. All right. Now this arc has a lot of themes: themes of family, themes of a crew, themes of racism. If you haven't noticed, it is a lot.
tragedy, yeah.
Is there's a lot in this arc but the way this arc starts is the first to actually arrive on Alon Park is Usopp and Zoro. Was it? Yeah, Usopp and Zoro. And they
Wasn't
first.
Zoro tied up?
Hmm? No, the two of them were
Wasn't
the
Zoro
first to
tied?
arrive on the island. Was it Luffy and Sanji only arrived later on. And when they first arrived on the island and they meet Nami for the first time, and they saw that she's part of the Arlong crew, and they were like, "Oh, she's not part of the Arlong. We trust Nami." And turns out she is. Zoro immediately doesn't really trust her, right? He first doesn't trust her at first because she kicks him into the water. They introduce so many things in this beginning. The introduction to Arlong, this character, is a villain downright. He comes to this village demanding payment for protection or whatnot, and it's insane what this character can do, and what he is doing makes all the more sense later on. But what he is doing is basically turning everyone in the village into his slaves to pay a large amount of money for per person. Right? It was crazy.
Exactly. But at the same time, you gotta remember when Nami did kick him, Zoro didn't go in the water. Zoro went into the water by his own volition to see
Yeah,
whether she would come after him or
after
not.
him or not, and but she did come after him or not. Yeah, she didn't kick him into the water. Thinking of what happened with Usopp, and before we know Usopp survived. What did you think when Nami stabbed him or stabbed her own hand at that? What was that? What was your reaction at that point? Did you completely trust her or did you not trust her before getting
To
her
be honest,
backstory?
nah, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I thought that bitch has been psycho.
Yes, I also thought the same thing before we got the backstory, before we met Nojiko, and her retelling the story to everyone. It's funny throughout this arc. Luffy, when he arrives onto the island and Nami sees him and he sees Nami, they're like, "Oh, they come back to the crew and whatnot, right?" And she says he's leaving the crew completely. He's like, "Huh? Are you sure?" And then she tells him to get out of here and get lost and whatnot. But then he says, "No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna sit right here and I'm gonna sleep on the floor right here." And that just heightened Luffy's character in my books.
That and the other time was like, I'm gonna go out for a walk. I don't need to listen to her when her sister comes. It's like I don't need to listen to a
Listen to her
backstory.
backstory. Exactly. This man doesn't care about her backstory. He's the only character that doesn't know any of the characters' backstories in this whole arc.
Eh,
Everyone heard Nami's backstory. Everyone heard what she went through. Luffy didn't care about that because all he cares about is Nami right now. And he's a very good judge of character for that, to actually realize that no, she's faking it. Everyone else knew, but you get my
But
point.
at the same time, you gotta admit Luffy being brave. You know, there are three fishmen, and he just walked past them, and they said that guy didn't flinch 1 second. Other guys would have been flinching, and he just said, "Oh, I'm just walking. Who the fuck
Pretty much.
knows where I'm gonna go?"
Yeah, I'm just walking around this very small island. Anyway, moving back to the backstory, there's a lot of things you missed before going further. Throughout the story, in the backstory, Nami is the very troublemaker daughter
Yeah,
for
yeah,
what's her name
we see
again?
that.
The
Or
mother?
Kobayashi Village.
No, the mother.
Um, what's the mother's name? I even forgot the mother's name.
Bel,
Rebecca?
no, Bellamere.
Bellamere, Bellamere.
Bellamere. Okay, Bellamere. The mother, Bellamere, is a very good character. Even though Nami is, you can see from back then she really likes money. She even then she wanted money. Well, she was raised by her mother who wasn't very well off, you could say. So all she did was sell tangerines, right? That she had a tangerine farm. Didn't have the most
Hmm.
amount of money, and Nami wanted that, wanted a lot of money, and she was a very troublemaker to both Nojiko and her mother. And just before Oolong showed up, there was a scene with Nami telling Bellamere that you're not my mother and whatnot. And that
Oh no, no. There's a dispute that
it's
she had with her sister,
yeah,
like a
and
small
then
sister. Like you're not my sister, and she
yes,
she snapped.
oh the mother or
The mother
yeah, what is
snapped when she,
when Nami said what?
like you're not my actual sister. Actually,
Oh
you're
yeah,
just
yeah,
adopted.
yeah. Adopted, yeah, that okay. It was not the mother. It was you're not actually my sister. And then she smacked Nami, and because she was like, don't say that. You are sisters, and it was such a heartfelt backstory because what happens afterwards and how Nami doesn't really she loves her family but at the same time she's a very naive young child because when when Arlong showed up and demanded the money the cool thing is when Arlong showed up at the door she shows up out of the door with a gun pointing straight into his mouth like she's because she's a former Marine, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, this chick is awesome. And then he demands money from them. He obviously overpowers it because he's a fisherman. And then the whole point with him being turning all the humans because he believes fishmen are superior and that humans are an inferior species and the fishmen are a much more superior species and all that. That's all long shtick. But
Hmm.
in that, what you have already said was that this all built up to that. Nami finally accepting that Nojiko and Bellamere are her family because of what Bellamere said to Arlong. Even though she could easily have just said, "They're not my two daughters. These two are not my daughters." She easily could have said that, and Arlong would have still asked for payment from the two kids and probably put them under a lot of work. She said that with no hesitation. That yes, they are my two daughters, and that she can't. And as long as you can kill me and leave these two alone, sort of deal.
Hmm.
Cemented Nami's character in her backstory, and then her going off to being his navigate, being his map courtesan, not map courtesan. What do they call it? Map map writer. I'm just gonna call it that. I don't know what the name for it is, but she accepting that and being that for to protect the village and trying to buy back the village. But the thing is, all along is playing double-edged swords here, and him telling him screwing Nami over and telling a marine to take her gold that she's been piling on was the last straw for Nami. And you know what scene I'm getting up to, right?
Yeah, I know what you're getting after, and I exactly know. And they're doing that point as well. They also like already knew, but didn't knew at the same time.
The
They
villagers.
pretended not to know. Yeah, they pretended not to
Yeah.
like show her, but they already knew.
Yes, they didn't knew what she was going through, trying to buy back the village, and be, her being stabbed in the back by Arlong, and the village going off, and she's all her work and everything that she's been trying to do to buy back the village all went down the drain, and she's at the lowest point, her lowest point. Despair is all over her, and she really hates the tattoo on her arm, and she's stabbing it. This is one of my favorite scenes of this arc, which cemented this is One Piece is
Oh
my
man,
favorite anime of all time.
that's the thing. I was like saying already. Put the straw hat on her. Put the straw hat on her.
And
Please
he
put the straw hat on her. And he did. And
and he
then
did.
then cut to the scene. Sanji, Zoro, Luffy.
And after he says, "Of course I'm gonna help you," that's in the English one, but in the Japanese it sounds so amazing. And then he turns around, he's like, "Iko, let's go," and everyone's like, "Hi!" And they all they had that walk, that slow walk, but it's goosebumps scene, bro.
But
It's one of my
exactly.
favorite scenes.
But before that, she goes to Arlong and says that that's the last straw. Like you said, it was the last straw for her. And
Mm-mm-mm.
Arlong just laughs off and just say, "It's just 100 million berries. You can collect it again, Nami. Start it all over again." And he then starts laughing, laughing
Yes.
and laughing.
Yeah, that's what cemented him as a villain. That last straw. It's that, but that scene when they show up and the fight actually starts is one of my favorite scenes in One Piece. With that beginning scene, that walk to
My
Arlong
favorite,
Park.
my favorite scene was when Luffy snapped. But we'll get that into it as we
Yeah, yeah. When we go through the fights, we start off with what? How did the fight start off?
the fight started off with Luffy punching like the door open
Mm-mm.
and then punching Arlong in the face. He goes across,
Mm-mm.
and then we
Then
feel Sanji, Zoro, and like fighting together into it. Zoro kicks the first guy's ass, but at the same time, the octopus his like injuries are starting to act him up.
yeah,
You know,
his injuries from when he fought Hawkeye. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The thing is,
and
in this fight,
mhm.
go
He
ahead.
feels sick, but he keeps on fighting. And at the same time, he says that I will not lose because there's a man I gotta beat. If I lose here, right here and now, this is a disgrace to me and to the dream I'm trying to achieve. I'm like,
Yes. Oh, is this not
oh,
the best anime or what?
it is.
And then in the beginning of the fight, they immediately took Luffy out of the fight by putting him underwater. But that's sort of a way to let the other characters get their fights on first before Luffy gets his fight on with Arlong. So you get to see Zoro fighting Hachi, and then and Usopp fighting against
My man, Usopp fighting that guy. I mean, the funniest part is in the series was that he said, "Come back here, long nose," and I made a joke that, "Oh, there goes a long mouth."
I mean, yeah, that's true because he does have a long kiss face, but yeah, the
Exactly.
Chew
I made a
guy.
joke. I made a joke. There's such a fit. Long nose, long mouth. I'm like, yo, that's such a fit. But also a big brain moment was like alcohol, and then he said, alcohol really goes well with fire.
Yes, that's it's showing his strengths in this fight. Him knowing how to trick his opponents. His fights are with tricks, and that's probably what cements his character for me. Him fighting with tricks and outsmarting his opponents. He's not as strong as the others. He's just very very smart in the way he fights his enemies. Then we get cut to Sanji trying to free Luffy underwater, and this fisherman guy, he's fighting in the water, meaning he's faster because he's fisherman, right? He's much faster, and it's a struggle for Sanji to save Luffy at the bottom of the water. Once he finally completes that, opening him up, the fight with Arlong finally starts. You know what I mean? So how did you
Exactly.
what did you think of this fight? The
To be honest,
moment
the
and
fight was dragged on.
mm,
At the moment, the fight was dragged on for no reason, with Luffy not being like not giving his all at the start and just playing around with the fight, And
yeah,
Arlong was going,
that's kind of the point with most of One Piece fights, but it's not really the fights. It's what happens after the fights, really, or the theme of what they're fighting for.
yeah.
Because it
But the
gets,
thing when Arlong snapped was like when you tell him my teeth can snap to anything, and Sanji was saying, dude, if he bites into Luffy, he dies. There's no returning back for him.
yeah, but you see how that happened. He bit into Luffy and he broke his teeth. Well, that's when he gets to Nami's room. Nami's room is where this fight really settled for me. And that the final attack
Exactly.
on Arlong is that he sees Luffy doesn't even know what had to know what she went through. He just sees the room, he sees the pen full of blood, and that last attack was it's amazing.
Dude, the moment when you see that glare on Luffy and he says that my sword isn't moving one bit. The guy is not even holding the sword. He's just putting two fingers on it. He's like, my
Yes,
sword isn't moving. I'm like,
yeah,
yo, you snapped him.
it,
That is a snap.
it is, bro. And then that last attack, bro. The what is the attack for?
Like, yeah, he stretches his leg out to the top of the roof, and before Arlong goes for another bite, he then puts the leg down, and that
Mm,
takes Arlong down to all the levels of Arlong Park, destroying the building in the process.
that satisfying attack at the very end is so good. Oh, this fight was amazing. And then we get to the aftermath of Along Park. Nami finally, moving on from the village and having her own adventure. Still loving money though, that's still a case with Nami.
But you gotta say the how she showed it was amazing. She
Mm,
gave all the 100 million berries away, but stole pickpocketed every villager's person. Wow. You
that
gotta
is
admit,
true. That is true. Anyway, now we're getting into the final arc. This is very short. You're not actually finished with Longtown, so we won't talk about Longtown just yet. We might talk about it in the next episode of this One Piece journey with Last and Nin. Overall, what did you think about this first half of the East Blue Saga?
I was gonna give. To be honest, I'm gonna give it a solid 10. A 9 out of 10
Okay.
because not gonna lie, it was a little bit of like One Piece is good, but it's a process of the story with it. And one of the biggest thing that I found in One Piece is that we all have dreams we want to achieve, right? But one thing in One Piece shows that with every little bit progress you have, there's gonna be glass on the floor. You gotta walk through that glass to achieve your dream. And we
Mm-hmm.
see that all in this arc. We also see in the arc that Luffy getting his first bounty as well, the first stepping
Yeah.
stone towards
His
him
his first
getting.
stepping stone. Yeah, it's only 13 billion at the moment, so it's his first stepping stone.
No, but 30 million for a newbie. They said in the Marine headquarters that
Mm,
for a newbie, 30 million is the starting point. That is
yeah, I know it's 30 million for a newbie, but like it's a good amount for now.
exactly.
Mm,
Exactly. So it's a stepping stone for it.
mm-hmm.
And I appreciate the story in a way that Oda has written it. To be honest, as much as I might criticize One Piece as it's not good, it's not good. When comparing it to like let me just say, Naruto and Bleach are two different ones. Bleach,
You haven't you
my
haven't
freaking,
mm, you haven't seen
nah, I'm not.
Bleach yet, so
Yeah, yeah, I haven't seen not much. Like I've only seen a couple of episodes of Bleach, not a lot of them. Not
mm-mm.
every episode, only the first five. But it might fit into it. Naruto, on the I have completely watched Naruto from Shippuden to Naruto.
From Naruto
Naruto
to
is not.
Shippuden.
No, no, it's not in the way of One Piece. No, no, no. You all
Okay.
say One Piece filler is dumb. Dude, One Piece filler is connecting to the main story of One Piece as well. Even fillers have the most meaning in the story. I'm
Only
just saying.
okay. You haven't come to that filler yet, but I would suggest skipping the next filler after lockdown. It's called Warship Island. I would suggest skipping it because it's not that great. It actually starts to feel like filler that episode at least. It's actual filler, not filler canon.
No, but seriously, I'm just gonna say
Mm,
Naruto filler is dumb. Not like please do not compare
mm,
Naruto in the place of One Piece. Naruto's
yeah, it's
nowhere near.
mm,
In my opinion, Naruto is six, but like One Piece here is like nine, solid nine. I love One Piece. And overall, for those guys I recommend this is that if you're feeling down in towards achieving your dream, just watch a couple of episodes of One Piece. I feel hyped as well. I feel
yeah.
overhyped for some reason.
It does help
It's
you
helping me a
mentally.
lot.
Yeah. So was a great little chat. I know I spoke mostly by myself, but it was a great little chat with you, me, and Les. And next week we are going to be tackling the next anime we're going to be tackling is not One Piece, but Durarara, or better known as Drrrr, since that's basically what it's supposed to sound like. And
Sounds like
this was it was great. This first couple of arcs. It's nice to remember these because I watched these almost like 6 to 7 years ago, back when I was in still the fourth grade. So it's been a long time for me. So it's nice to hear someone else's opinion on it. And thank you for listening. It's been Nin and Last. See you on the next episode.
bye.
Bye.